Originating from Landry's Seafood House, it's Bob Allen's Tell It Like It Is.
Well, normally at this time you see a big crowd applauding. We do the open to our show of Tell It Like It Is. But this time, we're doing a best of because the season is wound down and it's been one heck of a season. Our first show of the season was back in June, and that was when the city was in the grips of Rockets fever. Everybody was going nuts. Rockets were on the verge of winning the first championship for the city of Houston, and the people here just went crazy.
I think we're going to take it all, and prediction in 6 games.
You guys think they're going to take it in 6? Huh? 4. We got 4. We got 4.
Do the Rockets think they're getting a lot of respect, and how come Olajuwon was not on the cover of SI?
Judging it from a perspective that I follow the NBA a lot, and obviously I wasn't here, and I follow other teams, and I think the Houston Rockets don't get the respect that they deserve. And especially when Dream had won the MVP, I'd like to compare the covers of the USA Today this year when he won it with his picture up in the corner, and last year when Michael Jordan won it.
What kind of factor has the Dream been?
I think the biggest thing that Dream right now is he's so much focused on being a winner. He's got the MVP. Let's give him the MVP once they win the championship.
Earl, you've been through all this before with Philadelphia. What was it like this at all? Was it as nuts?
I haven't seen anything like this. This is really exciting.
What is it about this team, Scott, that you epitomize and everything, where the chemistry has come together in the postseason?
You could tell that we're close together by looking at the bench. Chris Gent, Mario, Sam, we're all cheering for the starters, and when we go into the game, they do the same for us. And that makes us feel special. It makes everybody get involved. It makes the crowd feel like they're part of it, too, because they see us show so much emotion, and it just makes it all so exciting for all of us.
Robert Ory, I just want to ask the question that all the women of Houston would like to know. Is it boxers or briefs?
You know, that's a question I've been asked a lot lately, you know, so now, for me, it depends on how I'm feeling that day, you know.
We all had a great summer. It was great walking into, speaking to kids and walking into the places. This is Scott Brooks, 1994, best team in the world.
As you were standing there watching those final seconds tick down in Game 7 against the Knicks, what thoughts were going through your mind?
Give Akeem the ball. Give Akeem the ball.
Well, I was very proud for our team, but I was really proud for this city. I felt like there wasn't a city in the world that deserved a championship like these people here.
It was incredible. I don't know how to describe it. It was just one of those feelings that you dream about. It's what you wanted. It's what you worked for all your career. You can't do a thing about it. It's these great players that get it done.
As far as handling people, I've never run across anybody that handles human nature and understands it as well as he does, and that was a big reason that we were so successful. I've said this time and again, you could probably find 200 people that could draw up enough plays for us to win the championship last year, but I don't think you could find another person in the world that could handle that team as well as he did and kept them at a high as long as he did and got as much out of them night after night as he did.
Have you ever gone more ballistic than you did when they didn't start the clock in Utah?
No, because I was, pardon my pun, I was mad as hell.
They're not even starting the clock! The clock! They didn't even start the clock!
Normally we're on the second row behind the press table in Utah. The clock operator is right in front of us. That game, there was no television. It was NBC. We were in the front row. So the clock operator's way over to our right. Had we been there, man, we'd have had his hair pulled out. That was the most frustrating time of my life.
The Rockets raise their ticket prices, some say a lot. The Rockets say they're staying competitive. Sam Stolben, you're suing the Rockets. Tell us why.
We've seen the ups and downs of the Rockets. Throughout the period, the fans of the city and of the Rockets have been treated pretty fairly up until this last event. It was when they increased my own tickets 42.4% that it starts to
hit you where you think, gee, this just does not smell right, doesn't look right, and that's why we went and investigated into this lawsuit.
This is all about value. As we looked at the top 6 or 7 teams in the league, we're now commensurate with their ticket pricing.
Last season, with ticket prices much, much lower than those you proposed or those you've implemented for this coming season, you want a world championship. If you can win a world championship where the prices were, why do you need to raise them to be competitive?
Okay, you're right, you win.
What is it going to take for this team to repeat, to win 2 times in a row?
I don't think we're that far behind our schedule right now. I think we're struggling a little bit on the offensive end and then with the rebounding. I think if you look at our statistics, we're playing great defense until they shoot, and then they get the rebound and they go back up and they're killing us on the boards. We're playing great defense and our offense is coming around.
I think you're going to see a change. I think it's going to get back to where it was. We're 21-10. We're just a game out of first place. This team will be there when May rolls around.
Bob Allen's Tell It Like It Is brought to you by your local Chevy dealer, where there's no deal like a Chevy deal.
Imagine 36 million people agreeing on something. That's how many people drive a Chevrolet today. Make you wonder if they know something you don't? Like how to get special financing on this all-new Chevy Lumina with dual airbags and air conditioning. It's called Making Your Money Count, and you can do it right now at your Chevrolet dealer. Hey, 36 million people can't be wrong.
Join the millions of satisfied customers at your local Chevy First Team dealer today.
Saturday night at 10:30, Moscow, a city of mystery. Gorky Park, a place of peace where 3 bizarre murders have been committed.
Look, no face. Sliced right off.
One man stands alone against the system.
It is more than possible that KGB killed those 3 people.
What are we talking about?
Dead bodies in Gorky Park.
William Hurt and Lee Marvin from the bestseller, Gorky Park. Saturday night at 10:30, here on 13.
This Sunday on the Sights and Sounds of Houston. A classic story comes to life in the musical Jekyll and Hyde. Go behind the scenes to unmask the monster show.
It started 25 years ago, and now it's one of the most watched soap operas on TV. Susan Lucci talks about a quarter of a century of All My Children.
Acclaimed director John Singleton leaves the boys in the hood for campus life and higher learning.
The Sights and Sounds of Houston, Sunday at noon, here on 13.
Well, for as much fun as the Rockets were, the Oilers absolutely were not. Who would have thought that they'd have gone from 12-4 to a 2-14 football team? That was the heavy topic of discussion much of this season, I tell it like it is.
I'm not in a real good mood right now. But we had an awful week in Indianapolis. Things had better be better off in Dallas, or things could be worse for us.
Monday, your column, you said, fire Jack, hire Jimmy Johnson.
Yes. And you know, the surprising thing about that is that nothing's changed. Jimmy's still available and Jack's still here.
But do you write him off after one game? Do you write him off after one game?
He wasn't ready to play the season opener. And it all goes back. It's on the coaching staff's head if this team isn't ready to play the opener.
That's all fine, but Jimmy Johnson still isn't coming to Houston. Now, it happens that Kenny Ham is from Dallas. That's why he's pushing Johnson so hard. As a matter of fact,
please. That's the dumbest thing you've ever said, and you've said some dumb things.
Suspected him of being a closet Cowboys fan.
Oh, please. Now, that's the last time I looked, Jimmy Johnson wasn't in Dallas, Ed, and of all people, you ought to be bright enough to figure that out.
The Oilers' offensive problems. What's your take on it last week?
Problems, Bob? What problems? I mean, Buffalo only got 5 field goals, and the Oilers came real close to beating them, didn't they? I mean, they got a touchdown.
I mean, they're 1-3, and there are a number of things that need to be corrected. They're going to Pittsburgh. Who knows what can happen in Pittsburgh? I like the Oilers.
Maybe Coop's right. Maybe we're in some kind of a deep funk here, and maybe they'll go up to Pittsburgh and win, but I don't think Fowler and I are going to buy it.
Coop?
Yes.
Ready to throw in the towel?
Not ready to throw in the towel, but I'm waiting for the coaching staff to wake up. When is this coaching staff going to come out of the dark ages?
There's nothing to be gained by evaluating the talent that's remaining this year. Ralph, half those guys will be around.
Do you run the coaches off now? Do you, I mean, you run the coach,
Ralph,
do you elevate one of the two?
Ralph, you know my feeling on this. I called this shot after the season opener, and you sat right here and said, Kenny, it's only one game.
Right, but, I mean, do you bring Jimmy Johnson in now?
Oh, Ralph, now you're talking. Now you're talking.
What about when Haywood Jeffries dropped the pass in the end zone in Denver? Was that the fault of the run and shoot? If he lined up in the pro set, would he have held the ball?
The great run and shoot could not get as much as 1 or 2 first downs that it took to preserve the Buffalo
After putting up a 30-point lead.
Well, now, wait a minute.
This is a good example of what the problem has been.
As I remember, Bubba McDowell ran that last touchdown back for a touchdown.
Okay, the offense only had, what, a 24-point lead? That was all.
I thought about this coming over here. What we need now is we need a contest to decide who's going to quarterback to honors. The Post and the Chronicle should run a Big Ed, Tolliver, Cody Carson, Bucky Richardson, and let the people vote on it.
I think we ought to run a contest to determine who's going to be the new owner, and then we'll go from there. Let the trickle-down theory.
You guys all right? Both you guys feeling all right?
Yeah, I feel okay.
Okay, just checking.
Here's a 2-time proven Super Bowl champion. Let's get serious about winning some football in Houston like we did at least with Bum Phillips era.
Now, the issue is not would Jimmy Johnson be good for the Oilers. I think we're all agreed that he would be. The issue is, would he come here? And I think, you know, it's 1994. It's about time the Houston Post started giving drug tests. This is not going to happen.
I think the Chronicle should have given a drug test to Ed, and when he endorsed Dick Wagner as one of the great baseball executives of our time, it was way too premature for them to fire Pardee. I think this is going to disrupt the entire season.
Is this the end of it, or are you going to call Jimmy back and let him blow some more smoke at you?
No, I think I'll call Jimmy back. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to give him your number and let Jimmy call and blow smoke at you this time.
Girls. All right, Kenny, we're going to start with you, big boy. You get the prize for being the only one I know to call for the firing of not one, but 2 head coaches in the same season.
I see this being a bigger problem for Bud marketing Jeff Fisher than Jeff's actual ability, whatever that may be. I still think that they need to bring in a proven, experienced NFL head coach and give him the power to get it done.
Describe what it felt like to finally end it on a win.
Just a huge yoke around, away from our neck that the season, first of all, it was just wonderful to have the season over with since it was such a disappointing year.
This year you come in and Lorenzo is backing you up. You used to back him up. How weird is that in practice?
Well, it's the same old conversations. We're just talking like we're friends. You know, the situation has changed, but the friendship hasn't changed, so that's the biggest thing that I'm happy about.
What do you guys do? And maybe I mean, everybody else is practicing. You guys are kind of walking around, kicking.
The thing that people don't understand is we have one of the hardest jobs on the team because we do absolutely nothing for 3 hours. And it's hard to keep your mind for that period of time.
It didn't exactly break you up when you had to leave Buddy Ryan, did it?
No, it didn't. No, I think that was probably the best thing that could have happened. You know, I've talked to some of my friends back in Phoenix, and they said it's miserable now over there.
What was the adjustment like on life without Buddy?
Well, wipe the tears out of your eyes first. Well, I think the biggest adjustments was dealing with Jeff Fisher. He's more of a technician. Buddy was like, yo, just go play ball, knock somebody's head off. Jeff was more like, well, if you're going to knock somebody's head off, the proper technique to rip his head off is this.
What can you do about it as a team, individually, to stop the silly penalties that start slowing you guys down defensively and offensively?
Well, penalties don't hurt unless it's 3rd and long and 3rd down and you're about to get off the field. That's the only time I think penalties hurt you. 1st and 2nd down, I don't think penalties really matter to me.
I know there's political answers you can give to something like this, but do you think that NFL defenses are starting to catch up with the run and shoot offense?
Oh, definitely. We sit back on defense and we know exactly what's coming. I mean, of course, we practice against it every day, but I think the run and shoot was exposed Monday night against Philadelphia 3 years ago.
It looked like he threw the ball. There wasn't anybody around there. Was it the receivers not being in the right place, or was it the ball going to the wrong place? Are you going to give me the political answer and saying it was a little bit of both?
It was a little bit of both, you know. Cody and the receivers weren't on the same page, you know, and, we got to have that.
Haywood, if there's three things you could do right now to change the direction of the Whalers, what would you prescribe, being the doctor of Tell It Like It Is tonight?
First thing, we need to have some unity. The second thing, we got to love one another. And the third thing, we just need some prayers to come down and give us some help.
What kind of toll is this season taking on you?
Well, you know, so far, the way it's going so far, it's probably been the worst season I've been associated with. Everybody's pointing fingers. I've never been around a team that started pointing fingers at each other and was able to go ahead and continue to win.
Say you're going to rebuild the team next year. Where do you start?
No, you're not getting me into that. No, you're not getting me into that. I don't know where I'd start. I really don't.
I think the one thing the Oilers miss more than anything in the whole world, after talking to Bum Phillips and listening to what he tell me, it look like they talk to this guy and this guy don't talk to that guy. And I think if you don't go party every now and then and let it all hang out, I think that's going to be a problem. And I think that's one of the Oilers' main problems is they're just not playing together as a team.
You're the general manager. Let Jeff Fisher do the coaching, and you stay out of it. Just stay out of it completely. I've been a season ticket holder. I've been a season ticket holder for about 20 years. Let Jeff coach and let Jeff get his own assistants.
Floyd, you want to respond to that? You got a mic there, good.
Yeah.
Boy, you told him, didn't you? Hey.
When will Bud Adams back out and let the coaches do their jobs?
It's hard because no one knows except a very select group. Mr. Adams stays out of it much, much more than anyone here ever thinks. Oh, okay, he's right in the middle of it then.
Aren't you glad you came, Floyd? You were so excited after you ran the punt back for the touchdown. You did a flip, you did the dance. You hear some of the talk show people say, well, they're 1 and 13, he shouldn't have been doing a dance. What do you say to those people?
I do my dance not for the older people, so to speak, but for the younger generation. Everywhere I go, the younger people always say, Ernest, when you going to dance? When you going to do this? I like to see you doing that. That makes me stay at home and watch the Oilers play. And if I could bring a child home out of the streets to watch the Oilers play just to see me dance, I'm going to continue to dance.
Hey, good. You've been kind of campaigning all along for Jeff. I guess you were happy with the news.
I really was. I think the organization made a very good decision.
Do you think you got a fair shot?
Yeah, I really do. I think they know a lot more about me now than they did this time last year. And, you know, like I've said all along, I'm only going to go out and do the best I can.
I think if he does whatever he does, I think we're going to have a win. That's it. So all you have to do is do whatever you've been doing, and that's it.
You're a big Bucky fan.
Yeah.
Well, I have to say, I'm probably blushing right now a little bit, but I agree with her.
Why are you blushing, Buck?
I don't know. I blush real easy.
Tell it like it is.
Back to basics. That's what being a Chevrolet dealer really means. Creating a customer for life. When you talk about being number one, you're talking about Chevrolet's full-size truck, the #1 selling truck in this part of Texas. With GMAC's Smart Buy, you can drive away in a new Chevrolet full-size for just $239 a month at your Chevy First Team dealer. We're here today, and we'll be here tomorrow. That's genuine Chevrolet.
Come home to Texas. Come home to genuine Chevrolet.
Sunday night at 11, they came to Greece for a little romance.
I can't tell you how this place turns me on.
Until she entered their lives.
I like her.
They're sharing the kind of love fantasies are made of. Their exotic island became their erotic playground.
I'm so excited, and I just can't hide
Get a taste of the sweet life with Daryl Hannah and Summer Lovers. Sunday night at 11 here on 13.
What am I going to fix for dinner?
Mommy, I'm hungry.
Honey, Bill's in town. What's for dinner? We could take him to Landry's. He loves their seafood.
And their service is so friendly.
We'll bring the kids.
Landry's. It's more than a meal. It's an outing.
Well, aside from the Rockets winning their first World Championship, Houston had a lot of other things going for it, and we brought it out every week on Tell It Like It Is. A lot of surprise guests came by.
Let's welcome Richie Renneberg to Tell It Like It Is. Richie, how disappointing was that? As you said, you were playing the best tennis of your life, and then the hamstring goes out.
Yeah, it was extremely disappointing because after a win like Boris Becker, obviously you want to try and follow it up. And I was in a pretty good section of the draw where Ivan Nisevich was down there and he had lost. So I had a good chance there that night against Todd Martin, and then the next match would have been against a unseeded player. So it would have been nice to advance a little further, but you know, sometimes I guess things like that happen.
We got a couple of the Rice Owls with us tonight, and let's welcome them. What kind of a feeling was it that Sunday night on national TV when the clock ran down and you'd finally won it 1917?
Well, it's kind of hard to describe because, I mean, when I came to Rice, it wasn't a very, wasn't a very positive program. We were working real hard and we were turning around. I think that victory over Texas, at the time, it didn't really sink in that, we're beating them. But, I mean, it was just a signal to, all the seniors and all of us guys that all our work was worthwhile.
Well, I felt really well because I felt good for the past teams that had played and had lost to Texas for so long. It just was a great feeling to ensure a victory in their hearts as much as mine.
I've known her since she was about 14 years old. Used to see her at McGregor Park. So we're about the same age, I guess, Zena and I. Say hello to Zena Garrison, everybody. What are you doing here and not, say, at the Canadian with Lori or some of those other tournaments?
Actually, I played team tennis this year, so I played 3 months straight, and I played LA last week, and I just decided to take a week or so off before the U.S. Open.
Good to be home?
Oh, it feels really good. Except I haven't been home in August in a really long time, and it's like hot out there.
And the world's fastest man is with us tonight. World record holder in the 100 meters, ran a 9.85 in Switzerland. Houston's Ray, if you miss it, Ray Childress just got up and waved to everybody. But let's welcome Leroy Burrell, folks. Leroy is here. You broke Carl's record by 1/100th of a second.
Yeah.
What was the feeling like?
Well, it's funny because you kind of have a feeling that these things are going to happen. I had a great practice and all that week, and I just went to Switzerland, felt great, and just put it all together and got the job done. Unlike Carl, I had the world record before. Carl took it from me, and so I'm just trying to return the favor, really.
Tell it like it is.
Oak Express lets you entertain in style with great values on home entertainment centers. At Oak Express, choose from different styles, sizes, and configurations. All in stock and ready to take home today. You'll find a place for all your audio and video gear, plus storage for movies, tapes, and CDs. Prices start at just $219. Plus, you'll find stereo towers, TV carts, speaker stands, and much, much more. Come in today, entertain tonight. Oak Express on the North, Southwest, and Gulf freeways next to Big Sur waterbeds.
That gate up there, that was not there last night.
Alan Himberger knows you have to go to the scene to get the latest on the story.
Never before in their lifetime had it flooded their
He's one of Houston's best, reporting from those big stories that make headlines in Texas and around the world. You can count on him in the newsroom or out on the scene to get all the facts that put them together in a way that's easy to understand. Professional, trustworthy, experienced. Alan Himberger, part of the 13 Eyewitness News teams at 5 and 6. Share the experience.
Look at this, a long-distance phone bill. Exciting, huh? It is if it's from Sprint Worldwide. Only Sprint Worldwide rewards its customers with cash certificates for all or part of an international plane ticket. It's the fastest way to turn your phone bill into a flight. Can I make a paper airplane or what?
Sprint Worldwide. Now you can call there and be there too.
Being a Chevrolet dealer just means not settling for second best. People have a feeling about their Chevrolets. Chevrolet has stood by them. I think Chevrolet today has the best product they have ever had. If you like to have fun, you should be driving a Camaro. With Smart Buy, you can get a Camaro for $269 a month and only at your Chevy First Team dealer. You get the best right here, and that's genuine Chevrolet.
Come on to Texas, come on to genuine Chevrolet.
Well, if you've watched Tell It Like It Is the past couple of seasons, you probably know that it is definitely not a scripted show. We pretty much go with the flow, what's going on. We talk to the people, we talk to the guests. And with that, definitely comes some surprises.
How many people in here happen to read Kenny Hand's piece in the Post this morning about Jeff Fisher? When I was reading that piece, I said, I think I'll call Bud Adams and make a suggestion to him. Anyway, I talked to his secretary, and I says, why not bring in Kenny Hand as the head coach and Ed Fowler as the defensive coordinator? That's a funny thing. I got the same reaction from the secretary I got from his crowd. She just laughed her head off. And I says, look, these two clowns haven't earned their pay as reporters yet, let alone earned their pay as coaches.
And Bob, the biggest problem...
I think that calls for a rebuttal.
He did, and the biggest problem with that is that you know how Fowler might be as a defensive coordinator. He's liable to start punching the head coach.
Well, I'm laughing too, pal, because I'm not working for Kenny Hand, I can assure you.
I guess their answer is they don't know. They had that series, that documentary on this past on PBS, and I think he realized who Dad was finally. You know, I'm just Dad, which I think is a great answer, but they mentioned me with Tris Speaker and Smokey Joe and Babe Ruth, and then they threw my name in there, and he was trying to relate, Dad, you're like Babe Ruth. And so I just said, no, I pitched in the same stadium, so they're kind of put it together.
I think he likes being on camera. Did you see yourself in there?
Sure.
Yeah, you did? I got you a gift for being nice all year, and it pretty well describes both of us. It says here, jocks and nerds, and I'd like for you to have this. And thanks for being my friend, being there for me. Okay, well, thank you, Ray. Wait a minute. Wait, I know who this guy... This is the guy that wears a Steelers... I know who you are. He's the guy that wears a Steelers shirt every week, and I wouldn't let him on last week, so he tries to... He fooled me. No. Throw him out. Throw him out. You're out of here.
You have stumbled upon an impression I used to do in my act, in my stand-up act, an impression of Jack Nicholson. When I met Maddie, I found out that Maddie does it even better. So together, we will do for you our impression of Jack Nicholson.
You want to investigate me, roll the dice, and take your chances. I ate breakfast 300 yards from 4,000 Cubans trying to kill me, so don't think for 1 second that you can come down here, flash your badge, and make me nervous.
All season long on Tell It Like It Is, we had talked about when the season ended, let's do a best of show and recap all the fun moments that we had on the show. But there were so many this year that it's turned into 2 shows. So we're going to come back next week and we're going to take a look at the baseball strike and also that very memorable visit from the heavyweight champion of the world.
Without further ado, folks, let's welcome the heavyweight champion, Houston's own George Foreman.
Bob Allen's Tell It Like It Is was brought to you by your local Chevy dealer, where there's no deal like a Chevy deal.
Tell it like it is. Don't be ashamed.
What you are about to see is real. There are no actors.
The Lotto Texas jackpot is up to an estimated $10 million. Good luck.
For 75 years, Easter Seals has been helping people with disabilities live with equality, dignity, and independence. Support Easter Seals because wonderful things happen when you give ability a chance.
Free gasoline? You say it doesn't grow on trees. Well, it does. If you use the Shell MasterCard from Chemical Bank, and you earn more and more free Shell gasoline the more you use the Shell MasterCard from Chemical Bank. Over $40 million of free gasoline have already been given away. The Shell MasterCard from Chemical Bank. Look for an offer in the mail or pick up an application at a Shell station near you.
Hi, I'm Johnny Cat, here with my pals to talk about my premium cat litter. Look, when some ordinary gray litters get wet, they can get muddy. But Johnny Cat is made from special lighter and whiter minerals that absorb moisture and odor. Now, mud may be fine for pigs, but we cats are a bit more particular. So if you own a pig, buy the gray stuff. But if you own a cat, try Johnny Cat. It's the lighter, whiter, and drier litter.